Real Madrid win 3-2 at the Bernabeu. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it because this was a tough game. Atletico Madrid, the derby, is always a tough game. No matter when it is, no matter who's in form, no matter who's not in form, it's always a tough game. We struggled with them under Xavi Alonso. We got destroyed by Atletico Madrid. But this was a different game. We're going into this Vini in confidence, Valverde in confidence. Our team setup is very good right now. Pitar, Arda Guler had an amazing game. Fran Garcia, an amazing game. I want to talk about them separately in a bit. But this was a very tough game. I'm never a fan of conceding 2 goals, but this was a very back and forth game with an Atletico Madrid who are hitting form in such a good moment. They started off pretty bad, right? But as of recent in the Champions League, in the league, and in the cup, they've been very, very good. So I knew it was going to be a tough game. I knew it wasn't going to be a 3-0 beatdown or a 2-0. I knew they would score on us, but it's just a matter of fact of how much they would score on us. And I didn't want them to score too because I was wondering, Atletico Madrid defensively is very good, and we've struggled to score goals sometimes. As of recent, we've been City 5-1. We won comfortably recently, right? But it's just one of those things where facing Atletico is always hard for Real Madrid. But we're at the Bernabeu. The fans were electric. It was such a good fan base. So they were on it. We are so good that in the biggest moments, the fans, the stadium is always jumping, and it was electric. It was so not good. Now let's talk. I want to talk about the specific individual, right? Fran Garcia today ran his life out. Pitach on the ball, he wasn't the best, right? He didn't really get the ball that much, but he was pressing and running for his life. Fran Garcia today, he was outstanding. Chouameni has been amazing for the last couple months, for the last God knows how long he's been, or the pillar of that midfield, right? From Valverde again, amazing. There was a run early on where Valverde goes wide. He puts it right into the thing, runs inside, and he just hits the post right. That was very early. We could have got an early goal, but it hits the post right. It happens. And in the first half, we weren't really at our best. At our first half, some would say Atletico might have been better. They got the goal. They got a couple of shots out. But when it came to the second half, we were on it. And Simeone realized that after we scored, right? Because he ended up taking out Lukman, he ended up taking out Griezmann after we scored a couple of goals. And he saw it that his players were off of it, and we were on them. We were on them in that second half. We get the goals. Vinny penalty. It was a clear penalty. For you guys saying that Brahim was not a penalty, you guys are crazy. Clear penalty, slices his leg, scissors his leg, penalty. Vinny scores 1-1. Right? I don't. That you guys might say you didn't talk about the Lookman goal. It was a good goal. Okay, it was a good goal. Good build by them. They got the goal, but I'm talking about my team. And then Valverde presses for it. There's a lot of moments where either Valverde does a pressing run, or Pitach does the presses, or Arda Güler presses, or Vinny. There's certain moments where we have one individual run then just press, right. Usually it's from the wing, because if you start at the wing, it just cuts off that whole side. So he's just running, and Atletico make a mistake. We knew they had a mistake, and then when it comes to them in build up, Ruggieri is good in build up. But Jimenez, you look at Hanko, they're not the best in build-up. So when he pressed them and Valverde won that, it was a clean goal. 3 fingers outside the booth, scores. It was an amazing, amazing goal. After that, I believe that's when they did the Pitarch change. Pitarch came off after a bit. It wasn't right afterwards, right? But Pitarch comes off, and Mbappe comes in. And in that midfield, we kind of missed the press when Pitarch came out, right? Because Brahim would press sometimes, but more higher up the pitch, right? He would press higher up the pitch in midfield a little bit, right? But when Molina got the ball to his feet, Brahim was the closest one, and I feel like in other moments, maybe Pitar presses, right? Brahim was too slow on the press, too slow to get to him. And I think that's what me and my dad realized, right? Because when he Molina got the ball, he looked up, he saw that there was no one in the box, so he cut and then shot. There was so much time for him to think about what to do, and I feel like in another, maybe Pitar, maybe if Arda Güler was a little bit more in that position, they pressed faster, right? Brahim was so slow on the press. Molina puts in a banger, and in that moment, you're like, ah, we've been the better in the second half. We scored the goals, and Atletico pushed us back a little bit, and they scored the goal. And now I'm thinking, we have to go for it again. We have to go for it again. And that's exactly what we do. Vinny Jr. Well, first of all, Trent Alexander Arnold runs the pitch and Trent came in electric. There were so many moments. I remember one of the moments, I'm not sure who he fought. I think it's Julian Alvarez. He followed Julian Alvarez from the left side of the pitch, or Trent's right, Julian's left, all the way to the other side and ended up making them lose the ball. Trent came in electric. Trent runs through pretty much like a right center midfield type of pockets, right? Positioning, not this position, but positioned on the pitch, right? He runs down the right hand side, crosses to Trevini. I was screaming to him to pass to Mbappe, right? Because Mbappe was making a run. Mbappe pulls the defenders, like it's something that people have been asking for a long time, right? Mbappe make the runs and take the defenders. He takes the defender with him. Vinny gets the ball against Baena. He cuts in, and scores in this moment. I felt so relieved. The stadium blew up. The stadium was jumping. We were all celebrating. It was such a good moment. You know, Trent was that run was amazing. His vision to find Vinny Jr. was outstanding. Vinny gets to the goal, second goal of the night, and it was crazy, right? Because for the City game, I posted on TikTok. Go follow the TikTok. Vinny scores two tonight, right? Against City. And today I just felt pretty much the same energy. There's just an energy that you get when it comes to Vinny in big games. Vinny in big games always shows up, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a run, whether it's a performance, whether it's a goal, whether it's assist. Vinny Jr. always performs in the biggest of games. And he did exactly that today with that goal. 3-2. And then Valverde gets a red card, right? Valverde, Baena is running with the ball. Valverde comes to him and slices his leg. I don't think it's a red. Like, there's so many times where it's just look, there's so many times where the defenders just clash into it. The attacker gets a body on it. It was such. There's so many contact and physical aspects throughout the entire game. And if that's a red, then there's going to be 10 reds per game. There's going to be 5 reds per game. If Valverde's is the red, then the game is gone because what he didn't get the ball right. And some of you guys say, oh, it was too aggressive. It was too this. He says, but in that moment. He doesn't get the ball. He takes Baena's leg. Okay, there, it's a foul, right? So it's a yellow card. These type of plays happen so much in every game. It happens so many times in the Prem, in La Liga, and Champions League, right? Where it's just a little bit over aggressive tackle, right? And if that's a red card, then it's a red card. There's going to be 5 red cards per game, so I don't think it was a red card. So even if you guys think it was too aggressive, maybe there is something of that because it's Baena and no one likes Baena. No one. We don't care about him. No one likes Baena. No one. If you're a Madrid fan, you literally dislike Baena. No one likes Baena. We all know what he did. We all know what he said to Valverde. And maybe it was because of the history, but in that moment, the referee isn't thinking, "Oh, they have history," and he went straight. Like I just don't think it's personally. I don't think it's a red card. Foul, yellow card. Yes, I agree with you. But red card, if that's a red card, like I said, there's gonna be 5 red cards per game. But 3-2, amazing performances. Lunin had a couple mistakes in build up. There's some things in build up. Like I just don't like. I just don't like when we're so wide and Lunin has the ball and he has to play up. I don't like that. Put it up or have Arda Guler come and pick it up. I just don't like when we're so back. We're trying to play out the back. Our defenders are so wide and Lunin is the one dictating, right? Lunin had a couple amazing saves in that first half. Well, I think it was one of the Atletico's first plays where Lunin gets a hand on it. He passes his hand a little bit, but he blocked it and he gets the ball right there. The Sorsloth header wasn't too strong, but once again, Lunin gets at the end of it. What I liked about Lunin today is there's so many times where Atletico would put the ball in the box and Lunin would come out and claim it, come out and claim it. And that's something Courtois does a lot too, but Lunin's younger and everything, so you can notice his speed when it comes to reading it, right? So I think Lunin had a pretty nice performance. Conceding, you never want to concede 2 goals, but the goals he conceded, I wouldn't blame it past him. And we can't. I just don't like comparing him to Courtois, right? Because Courtois is like best of the best class in history, right? So, but Lunin, I think he had a pretty couple good saves. Carvajal had a very good game. He had a very good game. He was very electric, but at his age, he's not going to play the full 90 minutes. Rudiger and Hausen, once again. we conceded 2 goals, but once again, the Molina one, I wouldn't really put it past them. Maybe the Lookman go out. Maybe I would put that one a little bit on them. But once again, I think they've improved a lot. I think Dean Housing had this game compared to the first game in the Wanda versus Atletico. There's a big difference. He's improved so much. I've criticized Housing a lot, right? Because he's come from the Prem, from a physical league, which they say it's physical, but I watch them week in, week out. Some of the fouls they get is crazy. Some they say it's physical and everything. I disagree. But when Dean Housen has been amazing the last couple of weeks, he's improved so much. His confidence is back up. He's winning his aerial duels. He's intercepting the ball. He's reading it and getting there first. He's done very well. Rudiger has coming back to the level. He has that captaincy like aura, right? He's a captain. He's a leader. He's the confidence is growing in the team, and with that comes with the solid defense. I think Fran Garcia again. I love Fran Garcia, not just today, but against City last week too. Fran Garcia has been outstanding. The way he runs, the way he kept Llorente quiet, the way he kept Savinho quiet against City, the way he kept Semenyo and all. Fran Garcia has been on it, and he's our third choice left back. So big shout out to Fran Garcia. Again, Chouameni has been outstanding for God knows how long he's been outstanding for. He is so good. He wins all his duels. His passes forward have improved so much. That assist to Vinny at the Etihad was amazing. No, he knew where Vinny was going to be. Puts in an amazing, perfect cross for Vinny against City. And today, I think you had an amazing performance. That chance that Valverde hit the post early on, that was a Chouameni pass. There were so many passes where Chouameni was just involved in the attacking plays, and Chouameni has been outstanding. Valverde gets a red card, but outstanding again. I hope it's not a 3 game ban because Valverde was amazing. And another thing of that, right? I saw a stat where it was like Atletico Madrid had like 15 fouls and they had 4 yellow cards. I'm pretty sure we had like 2 fouls. One of them was a yellow card and the other one was a red card. So I think that's just embarrassing by the ref. This is the same ref that gave Jude Bellingham the red card for saying F off out loud. Like this ref, I just don't like. He gave Jude that Bellingham. I think it was last season. It was that, and then today that Valverde red card once again. That ref is atrocious. But Valverde gets a red card. I think he has an amazing performance either way. First half and second half gets his goal again on his goal scoring streak. Vinny, I think he was amazing today again. Pitach had running for his life. And if you that's the thing, if you don't have the best game on the ball and you're not really that involved when it comes to playing out the back or doing this or creating or something, your life out there, and that's exactly what Pitach did. He pressed, he ran, he won balls back. Um, Arda Guler, there's this thing, right, where Arda Guler has been amazing for it because in build-up, he moves a little bit to the left. He moves to like a left back position. Fran Garcia goes all the way wide because we know Arda Guler on the ball is way better than a Fran Garcia. So he goes out there, gets the ball to feet, passes to Fran Garcia, passes to midfield, switches the ball. Fran Garcia, Arda Guler, my bad, in build-up has been so amazing. And then there's something about Guler that people don't talk about is the amount of balls he wins back. His defensive work has been very good as the last couple of months. Um, and Narda Goulet has been he's been a pillar in this team. The way he starts off the play when he opens out left, Fran Garcia that leaves Fran Garcia to go up and more wide, pushing the opposition defenders with them. Arda Goulet very good on the block. He's been amazing. I've been very impressed with his positioning, with his IQ, with the way he moves. His defensive work has been amazing. Who else? Vinny, I talked about. Brahim, again, he won the penalty. He had a very good game. He had a very good, like, 50 to 60 minutes. Brahim was amazing. But towards the end, I feel like you could tell he got tired. He's been playing a lot compared to how he used to last season or even early on in the season. Brahim wasn't being utilized that much. As of very recently, he's been playing a lot compared to what he's used to. So I'll give him the benefit of doubt to that. But he had a very good 50 minutes, first 50 minutes. He wins the ball. He takes the player on. He keeps the ball, and that helps us come up, right? Because he gets the ball. He takes a player on, he goes wide or comes inside, passes the ball, moves, and that just gives us enough time to push up, right? So I'm very happy with his performance today again. Carreras came on to defend a little bit more. Mbappe came on, he looked electric. I hope his knee. Every time Mbappe clashes or goes on a crazy sprint, I get so nervous because I just don't want him to be injured. Not just for us, right? Well, especially for us, more for us, right? But for like the World Cup and things coming up, and I know his knee isn't at the best. Jude came back very good. He still has to get back to it again, but I'm happy that he's back. Camavinga came back in, and I think he had a pretty good performance. I like Camavinga's performance, and all of this, right? I'm giving everyone props, but I want to give a lot of props to Arbeloa because this man has changed this team in a big way. Vinny gets taken off in the 85th minute, and we with Xavi Alonso, Vinny would come off and he'd come on, oh, man, he'd come out mad. Why me? Why am I coming out? But he comes out today at the 85th minute. Arbeloa takes him out to bring in Carreras and push Fran Garcia a little bit forward. He goes, he hugs Arbeloa. They're talking, they're hugging, and this just shows that Arbeloa knows what it means to be a Real Madrid manager. That you can have all the tactical analysis, you can have all the tactical knowledge, all the tactical and technical studies when it comes to this game, but man management at Real Madrid, like I said, is completely different because these players could win you a game alone. And the way he's managed this team, the way we've performed as in for a couple of months now, the way he's improved, right? The way he has players running their lives for them, for not just the badge, but for him as well, because they know how much confidence he's giving them. It's just amazing. I'm so happy with Arbeloa. Even look, I think we have to extend him. We have to. I think the way he had having these players happy is the hardest job you can have. Like let me explain. Like for Man United, having them players happy is with Michael Carrick compared to Ruben Amorim is different, right? Because those players they're good, right? They're good Premier League players. They're good for that level, right? But having Vinny happy, having Mbappe happy, having Valverde, Jude, having these players happy, debuting people from La Castilla, from our players, right? Debuting these younger players from Castilla. It's just what he's done in on the field, but also outside of debuting players, bringing in youngsters. He has these players happy. He has these players running and pressing and defending. And I think I want to give a big shout out to Arbeloa because he's been so good for us. He understands what it means to play for the team, play for Real Madrid, play for the players. Valverde you saw every player that came off, they would go and hug Arbeloa. They would hug him. They would be so happy. It's hard to comprehend, right? Because well, it's not hard to comprehend, but it's just I'm so happy seeing that Vinny comes off, and when under Xabi Alonso, Vinny would come off, and I'd be like, oh, it's gonna be he's gonna get mad, but under Arbeloa, he comes off, he hugs him, he dabs him up, he goes happy into the bench because they understand each other so well. Jude comes on, Arbeloa's talking with him. Mbappe comes on, Arbeloa is there with them. Arda Güler comes off, he hugs Arbeloa. It's just the unity in this team right now and the way we're playing. And just be careful with this because we're on. Real Madrid 3-2 against Atletico Madrid. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. Shout out to all the players. Shout out to Arbeloa. Shout out to the Bernabeu fans. Shout out to everyone. We won 3-2. Didn't want to concede 2 goals, but amazing, amazing performances by everyone. Again, shout out to the fans at the Bernabeu. Shout out to the fans all over the world. Shout out to the players. Shout out to Arbeloa. 3-2. We win the derby. We're getting closer to that first. I'm happy. I'm so happy.